We have been in Littleton all week, working with the Littleton Housing Authority to do water assessments and toilet installations in about 90 of their units. Yeah, so every appointment is starting off as a water assessment. So each unit is scheduled for a water assessment, and then depending on number of people in the home and number of toilets, we kind of go from there with getting those installed. So it all started with a client, Megan Knollwood. She lived in the housing authority and we weren't sure if we could do a water assessment there or not, because we usually are not able to service housing authorities. So we sent her information to our contact at Denver Water, and once she was approved as a Denver Water client of someone who we could service, we reached out to her landlord, which was the property manager of the Littleton Housing Authority. So she gave us the addresses for all 90 units, and after we confirmed their income and that they were Denver Water clients, we were able to start setting up appointments. So it's really nice to work with property managers and larger projects. For one, we're all in the same location, so it's nice for teams to get to be together. Second, it's nice to have surefire appointments, so we know they're not going to cancel on us because we have the maintenance staff assisting us. And it's kind of similar. It's similar to if we were doing a multifamily project. So it's guaranteed units, but because they're all individual properties, we're able to bill it as single-family homes. Through our contract with Denver Water, we can change the toilet if it's using 1.6 gallons of water each time it's flushed or more. So the main reason for that is the toilets that we replace with use 0.8. So that cuts the water usage in half for the clients. So that, a lot of the ones that we're running into are 1.0 or 1.2. So to put in a new toilet it's not meeting our contract needs. It would still be saving them water, and I think it would be great if we could lower that 1.6, maybe even just to 1.4. That would bring in a lot more of these toilets. But it's good to know that some of these toilets are 11 years old and they're using 1.0 gallons each time they're flushed, which means they've held up really well to time. Yeah, we're definitely looking into increasing our outreach to religious and nonprofit organizations. They do so much here for the community, and it's really nice to be able to give back to them in a way that is really unique. So we're looking into about 70 churches right now. I know we're trying to get into schools. The biggest resources that we took advantage were Denver Water's website, a little bit from Conservation Colorado, and then Niagara. So those companies have a lot more resources than we do in terms of market research, and they have all the statistics of how much water their line can save. So for me, that was really interesting, looking at the statistics for how much, if we're able to replace the sink aerators, the shower heads, and the toilets, how much water that saves for a family of 3, which totals out to about 40,000 gallons of water a year, and I think 1,000 kilowatt hours. So it does help with their energy bill as well. But they also have great studies on apartment complexes or multifamily units that have been able to replace and go more water efficient. I think it cuts the water bill down by like 75%. So those statistics were great to look at, and it's great that we work with a partner company that is able to devote a lot of resources to getting that information. I think it was a really great opportunity that Mile High kind of allowed me to take the lead and plan with this and work with different property managers and maintenance staff, as well as it's been really nice having full schedules. So week by week, our goal is to have 4 potential installation appointments and 2 water audits for this whole week and next week, each team will have potentially 4 water audits, and each team is scheduled for 5 or 6 toilet installations. I'm hoping to go back to school next year. I'm looking at MBA programs. I definitely want to stay in the helping profession, so nonprofits and different outreach groups. But I want to be more on the business side. I think that I'll be able to have more of an impact and be able to apply for more leadership-based roles. But this has been a great experience, and Mile High has enabled me to work on a lot of projects and kind of take the lead on things that I'm interested in, so it's definitely helped me explore and learn more about areas of interest. I have two kind of unique roles. One role that I have is I spend a lot of time in the office doing client outreach and client intake. So for me, one of the most rewarding parts of that is you're able to educate people on how we can help them and also educate them on different resources available in the community. We have a really great resource sheet that's front and back that lists all kinds of home repairs available to people who can't afford to have a plumber come out. The other great part about being on energy and water is you get to learn a very specific skill set, and it opens your mind to think about things you normally wouldn't think about. So,
for
example, after the first week I worked here, every time I go to the bathroom, like in a restroom, a public restroom, restaurant, you're looking at the supply line, you're looking at how much water is this toilet using, which was not something I thought about before. I was going to say something else. You also, I think there's something to be said of devoting a year of time to being on energy and water. So it takes, 10,000 hours to master a skill. And being able to spend time in a ton of different situations, a ton of different homes, you face challenges that you wouldn't necessarily see, and it definitely requires you to use your brain in a different way, to problem solve, to work on a team, and then to help people save money and help Denver save water.